Hey, welcome back to the Gratu Orloff television network. It's Saturday afternoon, January, I think it's January 16th, maybe, 2021. Well, let's see, 17th will be Sunday, 18th, 19th, and then 20th, Wednesday. Yeah, that's the day that the inauguration's supposed to happen. They got 30,000 troops in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration, and there's apparently more on the way and coming along in planes. So, that should be interesting. So, I'm organizing and going through a lot of stuff up here in the Gratu Orloff archives, and yeah, you know, including like artwork that I did in the 1970s. I showed you this. If you go back in the videos far enough, you'll see that I've already shown you all this stuff. But I'm finding a few things that I haven't shown you guys before. Let's see. Got to reorganize everything. Friday nights, a good friend of ours lives a couple hours away, but on Saturday afternoons Saturdays he works in a vintage stereo store near Fort Worth, and he's the guy, you know, when you bring in your old 1960s tube stereo or console stereo or whatever, they say, yes, we can fix it for you, and you think they're the ones that are going to fix it, but no, they've got my friend comes in and fixes it. And so sometimes he has to take the stuff with him to the town where he lives, but he works there on Saturdays. That's his off day from his other job. So anyway, so he can get to that job early enough. He drives in on Friday night, stays in this is in theory a guest bedroom. And so usually I've got all my comics like right in the center. And I have to blow up an inflatable mattress, and I have to move everything and get everything back until the next Friday when I have to. So I think I've pushed everything back a little bit. I'm not so, but I still am in the process of getting everything back where I can get back into the sleeving and bagging. Yes, indeed. Oh, let's see what we got here. I was telling you a while back, there used to be a really cool theater in Dallas. It's still there, but it is called the Granada. But for a brief shining time in the 1980s, it was run by a guy named Bill Neal. And Bill Neal was a cool guy and a huge movie collector. And he collected old movie trailers. He collected old movie lobby cards, inserts, which are the tall, skinny posters in one sheets, right? So he starts, he's the manager of this theater, vintage theater, old-timey theater in Dallas on Greenville Avenue. Well, he would have double feature bills of cool things every night, you know. So so you can see he's got Casablanca and Sabrina, and you know, Polyester and Eating Raoul, you know, and usually they weren't always stuff, but they weren't always something I wanted to see. But quite often we would drive out there to Dallas, my friends and I, and we would see some great movies projected in 35 millimeter. Of course, that was the pre-digital days. Everything was 35 millimeter. So he'd order these films. So he had the film, but what other repertory theaters don't have is the manager doesn't have a vintage collection of trailers. So if he's going to run for a few dollars more, in the weeks before it played, he could run a 35 millimeter trailer for a few dollars more, or Goldfinger or whatever. And then when for a few dollars more played that day or that weekend, he could outfit the whole lobby with all the original advertising, and it would be like stepping back in a time machine. So that was the great thing about this theater. I showed you this poster before in a previous video, It's meant to be put up on your wall. This is something called ephemera. Ephemeral objects are things meant advertising or something. No one expects you to save it. When it's out of date, most people toss it in the trash can. But not here at the Gratu Orloff building. No. Everything is saved in huge piles. And now I'm trying to go through and organize what I'm going to save. And this is something I'm going to save. But I just found another one that I didn't show you last time. So this one, sometimes he'd have like Ed Wood night, or he'd have a Three Stooges film festival, or Head and A Hard Day's Night. Halloween and the Tingler, that would definitely be a worthwhile driving to Dallas thing. Well, the theater's still there, but the landlord, the person that owned the theater, thought they could make more money if they turned it into one of those stupid theaters where they yank out half the seats and make it where you can eat and drink in there. They wanted a liquor license. So in order to get Bill Neal, the manager of the Granada, to leave so they could turn it into their own vision of one of these eat in the theater deals, and then they could also have concerts in there, and that was what it is now. We were there for Caligula. They ran the Caligula there. I'm trying to remember what all we went to see. Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. I'm pretty sure we went there for that. Look, Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens and Up. Lawrence of Arabia that night. Anyway. Well, here's the thing. They had free parking behind the theater. You can see it advertised here somewhere. Yeah, look, free parking. Well, the person that owned the theater started arbitrarily towing people's cars while they were watching the movie, just to annoy them, so they'll stop coming to the theater, and then to get Bill Neal to leave. And then a leak would develop in the roof, which might often happen in a building that's 80 years old and with a flat roof, and it happened right above where the projector is, and he wouldn't fix the leak. He wanted him out. And eventually, like all good things, the Granada left, and I remember there was one last time I went after it had turned into the new theater. I remember they ran the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad on a Saturday afternoon. We went, and half the theater seats were gone, and yeah, they were serving food and everything, but that was about the last time a good movie, as far as I know, ever played there. I think now it's just a concert venue. So, c'est la vie. Dallas. An old friend of mine on Facebook posted some photos that brought back some memories today. Jason Cohen in Dallas opened he started in front of he leased some space in a tattoo parlor and had a bookstore where he sold these obscure and just obscure and weird books, right? And so I went there, and then I would put the magazine I had a magazine I did called The Sophisticate, and I'd put it there on consignment. And then he decided to move around the corner and open a beatnik coffee shop, also called Forbidden Books and Coffee. And it was a bookstore. It had no, it didn't have records. It just had books and VHS rentals of all the cool movies, anything you can imagine that was cool that was hard to find. So it seems like I went there almost every night, and that's a good, from where I'm at to Dallas, it's a good 25-30 minute drive, and hung out there right across from where Fair Park is in downtown in Dallas, and that was a wonderful time where I was hanging out with my friends there, and And he posted memories of its opening, the photographs of the opening day of that place on Facebook this morning. Oh, and then right next door to it was a toy store called Zombie that his friend ran, and they both kind of co-ran the stores. There was Zombie, which was a toy store. That didn't last long, but it was like an Archie McPhee kind of weird and antique toy store. And then they had books and video next door. And it was a great entertainment destination. Everything, just a great place to hang out. But it's a little pocket of kind of punk rock community in the middle of a very, very dangerous neighborhood. And one time I went there, I was on the way to a Christmas party, and I stopped at an antique store around the corner, and then I was leaving, and I got mugged. I used to wear thick glasses. I since got that laser surgery, but thick glasses, and then this guy, I've never been in a fight like that before. I mean, this guy hit out of nowhere. This guy came up and hit me. It must have been like Mike Tyson. That must be the way that Mike Tyson hits people. But my glasses got broken, and stole a wallet with $30 in it, and ran off into the depths of that filthy area. And so up to that, I haven't really been that thrilled about going to Dallas that much. And unfortunately, friends of mine in Dallas, I've kind of lost touch with them. And I don't know if any of them watch this channel. Other things I'm finding, like this is a flyer for the Haunted Verdun Manor. This was a haunted house. It may still be in operation. I don't know. It was out there in, well, I think it's now called Thurlvania, or it's part of that. Anyway, this guy that I knew since college, named Lance Pope, was obsessed with werewolves, and he ran, well, at first he had a haunted house in Arlington, right by the college we were going to, the university, and it had, he just rented like an abandoned old house and turned it into a haunted house. But then he later built this giant, Hollywood level special effects place, and what he did is he had all these trailers, like trailers that a semi-truck would pull, and he had them all stacked up, and you didn't realize when you went in, it had a fake front. You didn't realize the house was many trailers, and then he'd add trailers to it. But that was Haunted Verdun Manor. But he passed away very young. Here's another flyer. That's what his house looked like. I mean, it was, he was so into werewolves. One of those guys that was in high school just at the time, The Howling and American Werewolf in London came out, and then they became obsessed with werewolves and special effects, and I guess you had to be there. What else did I find? Oh, this is a flyer for another theater, the Inwood, which is also in Dallas. These are the midnight movies playing there during, they never put years on these things. But, I assume it's the 80s. I'm guessing. Maybe early 90s. Oh, but here's the thing I wanted to show you. A few episodes back, I was telling you about the Forum 303 Mall and how it was torn down and everything, and how they had midnight movies there. But here's the flyer for that theater. See, the Forum 6. And again, there's no year, but it's the 1980s. Oh yeah, there is a year. 1982, man, I was still in high school. November 82, I was a senior in high school, right? Because I graduated 83. So they had American Werewolf in London, Rocky Horror Picture Show. They always had Rocky Horror Picture Show. I do not know what Peaches and Cream is. Heavy Metal, Jabberwocky, Gimme Shelter, that was almost always there. Dawn of the Dead and Fritz the Cat. But Dawn of the Dead and Rocky Horror Picture Show were always there. Just always. And, took many evenings out till, 2:30 in the morning, because Dawn of the Dead's a long movie. What else have I found here? Oh, this is cool. Here's a receipt from that Forbidden. What did I buy? Where are my old man glasses? An issue of Gearhead, Asian Cult Cinema, Driving Me Wild with Nitro. What is that? $26.70. And what is that sale book? I don't know what Driving Me Wild with Nitro is. $26? Could that? I don't know what that is. That might be a movie double feature. Yeah, that's where it was. Okay, that's cool. Here's what you could get when the Tick was on the air. The original Tick. These are the toys you could get from Taco Bell. This was a really cool toy here. I have all 4 of them. I still have one of these, Arthur, in the original packaging. I've got to find the voice box that went inside this bag. But remember I was telling you about Helen Gallagher's a gag gift store, novelty store at Forum 303 Mall. This was the bag that, just for laughs, and I have the box around here somewhere. You put a double D battery in it, and if you press the right button, it starts laughing maniacally. This is from like about 1976. So, I didn't do a show yesterday. Just kind of, well, I was really tired yesterday. So I was sitting around trying to figure out what's going on in the world and was unable to come up with any answers. Let's see, no answers yet. I gotta clear all this stuff. Gotta clear all this stuff so I'm gonna get back into the comics. Never fear. I know this is a comic book channel, and I have had a lot of new subscribers on the channel, and that's really cool. Captain Strangelife talked about me a little bit, and a lot of new subscribers popped up, and that's great. So this thing, my local comic shop, he just gives it to me, and that's great. Except I'm a pack rat, and I'm never going to be able to throw this away. And it's hard to. For a while, they fill up boxes, and it's like. But you know, apparently, there's arguments among the comic book community. I watch people with channels much bigger than me, and they argue about first appearances. Is the first appearance of Miles Morales in the comic book? Or what about in the previews where they show that this new character named Miles Morales is coming, and they show him, so he was first actually published in this, so this should be worth thousands of dollars. And people are paying, I don't know if thousands, but paying a lot of money for promotional material. Then I hear people talking for hours. I was listening to a guy this morning ranting on, while I was showering on YouTube about, you know, first appearances, does it count in previews? And they say no. Just like apparently, you know, Wolverine 180 is the first appearance, in my opinion. But some people say, no, it's 181 because he's on the cover. And they say, well, actually, Wolverine first appeared in an ad in Daredevil number 1, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, no, that doesn't count because that's just an ad. Well, okay, but why doesn't it count in Wolverine 180 when there's a whole page devoted to him and the last panel is his full body and he's talking right at you and running right at you? And they spent hours arguing about it, and and about the toxicity in the community, and people arguing and getting mad at each other. And there are apparently these really big comic book people on YouTube that have 37. One guy has 30. He was talking about these guys and how great they are. One guy has 37,000 subscribers, and I don't remember what his name is. I think his name is his name is Comic Book Tom or something, and he has 37,000. And he was like real excited all the time. We're gonna do this game, yeah. And I watched a little bit of him. And he's so excited, and he's. This is for the real young comic collectors, the people that are really into the variant covers, and I mean, I think the people that watch my channel are mostly in their 40s, 50s, and have been around. Then the other guy that has like 100,000 subscribers is this guy named Jim Mint, not Jim, Gem, like a diamond, And all he does on his channel, he's got nothing on his walls. Behind him are all these archive editions. What do you call them? Are they called archive? No, omnibus. The ones that are this thick, and it's like a family Bible, thicker than a family Bible. And you open it up, and it's got like 50 issues, printed very nicely of comic books in order, and they're $100 each. And he's got like just hundreds behind him, and every one of them is $100. This guy's like a big roller, and he's got the gold chains and the hoodie, and he talks kind of like he's a rapper a little bit, just And then the guy I was watching named Journo, Jerno, Journo Comics. He's also got the hoodie and the gold chains, and it really appeals to younger people that and he's got a ton of subscribers himself. I think he's up, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000. But he's saying I'm small compared to these other guys, and he was talking about them. And so I've got 157 subscribers. So I was thinking I should do an episode where I wear a baseball cap and a hoodie and some gold chains and see if I can't get a few thousand subscribers. But I didn't want to add to the toxicity and have people thinking I'm making fun of them. But someday maybe I'll do that. Because I've been around enough young people that I might be able to mimic that manner of speaking. I'm looking at this preview, seeing if there's this is the stuff coming out in what month? January of 21. Well, this is January 21. This stuff is coming out when? Oh, that light is driving me crazy. I put the light in a different place. So far, nothing. You're not even seeing what I'm looking at. Oh, that's kind of neat. Okay. Someone's reprinting Jack the Giant Killer. Someone's reprinting Planet Comics. That's okay. So there are reprint books coming out of some of the Fiction House. See the Planet Comics and then Fight Comics. I will definitely want those. This is a friend of mine's band from the early 80s. They put out this 45. They were the Uncalled For, right? And they trying to sound like the Cramps. Well, they on the label of the 45, they knew even then in 1980, 81, that they wanted to put 1977 on the record label so that it seemed like one of the, that's when punk rock hit, in the United States. So they did that. And then a few years ago, people were saying, we've discovered this new band, this band from 1977, from the dawn of punk rock, and it's like, but then it turned out when they contacted him, no, he just put that on there, and they're, so people got a little upset that they'd been fooled. Jeez, who buys this shit? Oh, that's cool. Look at that statue there. Probably something I can't afford. Only $199.99. That would be cool. But I don't have that money. Well, and people making statues off Betty Page. I hope her estate is getting some money from that. Someone told me I should always look at the little supplement that comes in it that shows the upcoming Marvel stuff, because that's the good stuff. I don't know what Silk is. I don't know what that is, who that is. I don't have any clue. I barely even know who Miles Morales is. I don't know what any of this stuff is. King in Black. I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Now, here's an omnibus I'd like to get. World War II Captain America stuff. I'm amazed that they would print that. That some social justice warrior wouldn't object to the depiction of the Germans and the Japanese in those World War II comics, because I know when the movie Shazam came out, and people were like, well, maybe now we'll get a reprinting of the Monster Society of Evil serial that ran in the old Captain Marvel comics. And then they said, oh no, we can't print that because it has very negative depictions of different people. And yeah, but when you're going to be looking at reprinting Golden Age stuff, there's going to be a little bit of that, usually, especially during a war. Okay. Okay. Man. It creates so much havoc when I have to move things around when my friend comes over, but I don't want to be a jerk about it. And don't worry, he doesn't watch this channel. He doesn't even have a computer. Oh, these are instructions for a turntable I bought. That's important. Wow. It's like looking at a whole nother lifetime, looking at all this old stuff. This is about the local. There's a couple in Waxahachie, and this lady is a big Munsters fan. So her husband was an architect. She says, I want you to build me the Munsters house. So they did. They made an exact replica of the Munsters house, and every Halloween they let people come in and tour it. And then sometimes they would have celebrities, from the show visit, like Butch Patrick would come, and Grandpa came a few times, and Al Lewis. Anyway, I went once, and you know, pretty much the downstairs is an exact replica. You go in, you've got the stairs, it opens up, and Spot is there. The coffin telephone thing is there, and then you go off into the living room, and it's pretty exact, like the TV show. There's a little door to open up to the Grandpa's dungeon, but they don't really have a basement, so the dungeon does not exist. So instead, they make Grandpa's laboratory kind of upstairs in a room. So that you can't really have basements with the soil the way it is here in this part of the Texas. Anyway, that was the one disappointment. But then the kitchen is like, it's you know, and I'm looking at it, and I should be loving it because I love the Munsters, but I was getting a little depressed in there. You know, when we went upstairs, saw the bedroom, and then you come back down, and like next, built onto the side of the house is where they actually kind of live. They have a room with a television, and it's not made to look like the Munsters. It's just an extra room they added where they could live. The rest of the house is just like, it's like living in a museum. You really can't touch anything. They have actually a lot of props that are from the show, like stuff from the kitchen that actually they got from the actual prop people. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they could have made the exterior look like the Munsters' house and maybe the living room, but to try to do everything, you know, and then there's one room that's Eddie's room, and they got all this Eddie stuff, and Marilyn's room, but you can't really live in the house. It's a museum, and you can walk around and say, wow, it's cool, I live in the Munsters' house, but to me it's like taking something a little too far. And then in the room, because it seems, I guess what it is it's like that's the only thing they're into, and I know it isn't, but if you're only into one thing, to me, because it's like, why am I not friends with this couple that are so obsessed with the Munsters? They built the house. Why are they not people I hang out with or know? And it's just like, to me, they just seem like, seems a little boring. I don't know. I'm being too negative. I don't know. There's something, because my wife, you know, I went before I met my wife, and she wants to go and see this house, and I say, well, you know, it's great and everything, but I got a little depressed from it. I just can't explain it, because I think if I was going to build a house, I'd kind of rather live in the Addams Family house. But I don't want to have to keep it exactly the way the Addams Family had it, or keep it like they do, keep it exactly the way the Munsters had it. I'd want to add my own touches to it, because otherwise you're just a blank slate, and you're just, the Munsters are cool, so I'm going to live exactly like they did. But what about your own personality? Shouldn't that be inflected into it a little bit? So anyway, so I guess that's why I saved this newspaper, long story short. And somehow I got this subscription to Entertainment Weekly from Best Buy, and it just kept coming and coming, and I don't know what to do with all these fucking magazines. I don't want to throw them away, but they take up too much room. What the hell is this? Why am I saving these newspaper clippings? Jesus Christ. Horrible. You don't want to see that. But I gotta go through this, and it's gonna take probably 40 trash bags. I mean, I'm about to be engulfed in this. Okay, I gotta organize comic books. That's why I came here. But I can't keep my mind focused on anything, because the world is in such a state of flux. It's so bizarre what's happening right now. And I just can't help feeling that somebody's going to stage something horrible to blame it on people they don't like, and then a new Patriot Act will be enacted, and you know, something like that. I don't know. What is this? Here's a flyer I got at a punk rock club. I wonder if this was Antifa. We don't need another Hitler. Fight racism, anti-racist action. That might be. See, a little thing like this eventually will have some kind of historical importance. I think. Could be. Wacky packages. This is not from the 70s. This is from 2006, but had to get it because it was $1, and wacky packages were like such a highlight of my childhood. I need to show you my wacky package collection. If you grew up in the 70s and didn't, I mean, wacky packages were everything. Even to normal people, I mean, everyone loved them. It wasn't just a nerd thing like comic books. I think even normal, average idiots like wacky packages. It transcended nerddom and even infected do they call them normies? Okay, back to the comic books. Okay. All right. Okay, we're amazing. Let's see what we got. What is this shit? Free Comic Book Day. The Boys. Okay, so this must be what the TV show's based on. And when I got this, the TV show may not have been, I mean, I got it because it was free. I don't think the TV show was even a twinkle in anyone's eye when this came out. Okay. I watched the whole first season, found it little depressing, but it was definite propaganda. But I'm looking at the inside. It wasn't bad, I guess. I didn't watch the second season, but just looking at it, I could see why I would just pass this on a newsstand. The cover doesn't grab me, the artwork just doesn't grab me, and you don't sit there at a newsstand and what gets you first is the art. You know, unless someone tells you, no, this is really well written. When you open a comic book and at a spinner rack when you're 7 years old, or in a comic shop when you're 55 years old, the first thing you see is the art. And if the art doesn't grab you, then because you don't have time to sit there and read it. Someone will say, you know, this is in the library. Jesus Christ, what the hell is this shit? Now see, this is something I probably would I need to just chunk in the trash. You know, why do I even own this? Obviously it was free, and whenever something's free, I take it, but, you know, it just looks horrible. And I'm embarrassed that this even occupies space on the 7th floor of the Gratu Orloff building. But I'm so hesitant to throw anything away, because what if this winds up being worth thousands of dollars because it's the first appearance of this idiot here? I don't know. It looks shitty. It looks shitty, therefore it is shit. I saw that in a fortune cookie once, and I've always taken that to heart, or I need to. Oh yeah, speaking of the Munsters, here's an issue of the Munsters that is begging to be bagged and boarded. Oh, they did have a normal human room where they would live with a couch and a TV. And I guess they had a little kitchen there, because the kitchen, the Munsters kitchen, didn't really look functional. It was, old-timey, antique oven and stuff. Stove, rather. It seems like then they had a little room where they had their Munsters memorabilia on display, And, okay. Golden Age. If I was a Golden Age stack of bags, where would I be? Perhaps right behind me. Okay. Golden comic bags. So that's where that is. Oh. Perhaps up here is the Golden Age. Oh. Look at this. Board of Education. Grip here firmly in case of frustration. Applied psychology, it says there. Are you Golden Age boards? Why, yes, you are. How delightful. Okay. So this will be the first comic bagged and boarded in this episode. We're only 42 minutes and 15 seconds in. Also the first comic book I've shown you. But if you're here for only comic books, this may be the wrong channel, because I talk about life and I talk about movies and anything that comes to my mind I talk about. And because I can't just talk only about comic books, or I'd be like those people that built the Munsters house, because they're only into the Munsters and that's their whole life. And I mean, I guess it's not that bad a life to be only into the Munsters, but I don't know who knows what I'm thinking. Probably I'm just jealous that they've got the Munsters house, is probably what you're saying, and you could be right. Right, Dagwood? It's just reprints of the Sunday. Oh, it's got Popeye too, man. Hey, this is a good deal. It's got a wonderful spine roll. Spine rolls add to the value of your comics. I'll have you know. Okay, but even with the spine roll, that could be pressed out. If I had a press, so what do you guys think is going to happen on Wednesday? You guys going to watch that? That should be a lot of fun. Oh, here's some Two-Gun Kid comics that need the treatment, but they're not Golden Age. So where's my Silver Age? I tell you what. Oh, there they are. Silver Age. Silver Age boards. Is this normal? Do you have things like this on chairs in your house? I don't know. Giant sunglasses, a slide viewer, someone's arm, a Santa Claus. I don't know how normal or abnormal I am. Okay. I had a big stack of them. It's driving me sane. Okay. Oh, wait, they're up here. Shit. What the hell is this crap? Another promotional dilly bobber that I'm saving for some unknown reason. Okay. So let's leave Two Gun Kid number 73, shall we? Lots of ads for how to hypnotize people in these old Silver Age comics. Ads, worldwide reception. You may need this when they shut off all the electricity. Everybody keeps saying, buy lots of water, batteries, food to last 10 days, maybe longer. You hear all this? Or am I just listening to all the crazies? No, these are just more Golden Age boards. These are not Silver Age. Okay. You know, I'm thinking I may have to make a journey. A sojourn, an adventure. We may have to actually go into another room to get those Silver Age boards. Oh, wait! Did you guys see it? When I showed you this chair before, you guys didn't tell me. Below the severed human hand, below the dancing cat, below the giant sunglasses, are Silver Age boards. They were there all along. And you guys, I know, were shouting at me, they're right there! But I couldn't hear you, because there's this vast ethereal gulf between us called the internet. It's really cool the way these iPhones gives you this 3D effect. That's cool. That looks a little obscene. Okay, Two Gun Kid number 94, take 2. Yes, indeed. Oh, what I was saying is there's always ads either to how to beat people up or to hypnotize them. The Guns of Jesse James. Alright, it's one of these stealable bags. Okay. Man Bear Pig, one of my friends on YouTube, told me to grab this both from below and pull up. But I just can't. I'm not coordinated enough. Ah, he's right. I got it. Alright, Two Gun Kid. Here's Two Gun Kid number 99. What a great cover. Who else wants a He-Man body? They'd probably send you a corpse in the mail. See, that's the way it would end if this was a EC comic, horror comic story. Who wants a He-Man body? You know, like they say, come to our midnight spook show at the Capitol Theater. Win a live, I'm sorry, they say, win a real dead body. And they give you like a chicken or something, like a fried chicken, because it's technically a dead body. But wait, I thought I was going to win a human dead corpse. You guys lied to me. Oh, you wanted something dead. You got something dead. Well, Joe Biden says he's going to give us $1,400 because we already got 600 of it. But it seems like that was supposed to happen before. But they held it up so that you'd get it after the inauguration, so you'd think, oh, it's coming from him, so you'd like him. Oh, and he's going to raise the minimum wage to $15. Yeah, but what is he going to raise your taxes to? Will it? Oh, and what's the gasoline going to go up to? Maybe you're gonna need $15 to pay for the gas to get into Taco Bell to hand out the hot sauce. All right. Two Gun Kid 73. We're having a Two Gun Kid Saturday here. I could have sworn I just went through that one. All right. The audience is applauding for the artwork of Dick Ayers. Everyone loves him. I just can't get it. Man, Bear, Pig, what is your secret? He just got some great Hulk comics. If you go to his page, he got some great 70s comics. I was telling him in the talkback under his video that I used to have a T-shirt of one of those. And I don't know if any of you remember this. In 1973, 74, my mom took me to a store and they had T-shirts with Marvel covers, and I got the Hulk 140. I don't know. It's the Hulk where he's standing there like this, and it's like, who will judge the Hulk? And they've got a lot of the Marvel heroes around, like the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and Daredevil. You know, that cover, which I don't even have that actual issue, but I had the T-shirt for many years. Long story, it's gone now, but I saved it for many years, and then I also got a Submariner shirt, and I don't know the issue number, but it was one of the 20-cent issues, and he's there, and Dr. Doom is facing off with him. And then there was a Captain America shirt where it's, I had that, where it's like the Cap's origin retold, and it's like a black background, I think, but the red skull and different, that one. And then there was a fourth one they had that I didn't get. It was the cover of the first issue of Luke Cage Hero for Hire. And they're just 70s T-shirts. They weren't iron-ons. They were actually printed on the shirt. White cotton. Do any of you remember those? Because maybe they're on eBay or something. That would be cool to get new a new set of those shirts just for nostalgia's sake, you know, just remembering my mother's gift to me or whatever. Korak, son of Tarzan. Bad spine roll. I want to, my dream someday is to, these gold keys that have the whole art on the back without the logo over it. I just like to go to a Kinko's and make posters and then frame them and have an art gallery of just gold key art. In fact, I made a poster once of this cover. I think I actually did what I'm saying. I did it this side. Captain Strangelove does posters of advertisements, and that's a brilliant thing. And it just, you know, you get Christmas ads or Christmas covers and blow them up, and then you put them out on display that time of year. Or it's all right. So now got to get the Golden Age stuff. Okay, that goes there. Starting to get the hang of this. Then I'll Probably go downstairs, see what's going on in the news, get this uploaded, and maybe come back up a little later on for another episode. Now we're... Oh, the bags. In theory, that's supposed to sound like a studio audience laughing at my antics, but I don't think I have it turned up loud enough for you to even notice. Okay, gold key. I'm sorry, golden age. Golden age board. Golden age bag. I wouldn't be very good labor in a concentration camp making things, because I just get too distracted, and it's like, how many comics have I bagged and boarded in this amount of time? So when the Chinese do take over here in a few months and start putting us all in re-education camps and making us make little things, I will do a terrible job. I predict. So look at these ads. What does that say? Tape tool. Oh, my dad would love these stupid things where you would make a message with raised letters on this red tape. You remember those things? He put on the dashboard of his Ford station wagon, fasten safety belt. He was a Army colonel. He's a full colonel when he retired, so he would do those boring Hugh Beaumont kind of things, like make stickers that tell you to fasten your safety belt. Whereas if I was in control of the message tape gun, the messages that would be printed would be far sillier and more offensive. Magnus Robot Fighter. Just all it needs is a board. Just like the kid that misbehaves, all they need is a board. I only got paddled once. No. Once? Was it twice? I don't remember. It was either once or twice when I was a kid. This okay. This is Golden Age Mylight from the 80s that it's in, but it doesn't look like this Golden Age board will fit inside of it. So I think the Golden Age bags made today are a little roomier. So I'll pull this out and use it on a different Golden Age comic. Oh my goodness. This is a great comic, Magnus Robot Fighter. There were people in the 90s rediscovered it because some company, Valiant or something, revived it along with Turok, but and then they made video games, and then but the original 60s run is what I know. Okay, now it's all secure. It looked better in my light, but it just wouldn't, logistics wouldn't work. Man from Uncle. Well, sometimes, well, I was thinking I needed a Golden Age, but it looks like Man from Uncle is more Silver Age sized. Maybe this was the exact time that Gold Key finally converted to the Silver Age size. You know, Gold Key didn't print their numbers on the it's Silver Age on that. So I always like when people write number 16. She's, that's real. Thanks. That helps me know instead of opening up the cover. Now the thing is, you write it back here, but when that person wrote that, it was probably early 70s or something. They didn't know any better. It was probably written there by the store owner, actually. Like Lone Star Comics, mycomicshop.com. In the old days, when I used to, in the 70s, early 80s, they would write the condition on the front of the cover in pencil. So in theory, you could erase it, but so you've got like the Galactus trilogy or whatever, and and that what they would do is they would write, like, if this was very good, they'd write right next to right in the space between the 4 and in that white space, they'd write VG. That's back when people used to use words to convey condition. Very good, good, fine. Now everything's numbers, thanks to CGC. Well, I probably should, someone just said, Captain Strangelove turned me onto your channel. Someone just, I see a little message just appeared, so I didn't see the name of the person, but thank you. I will, but when you guys subscribe, I always look at and see what, I always go to the people's channels and see what their channel's about, and usually I'll subscribe to them too. Time Tunnel. That was a cool show. Irwin Allen. Okay. Will it need a Golden Age or Silver Age board? See, Silver Age leaves a lot of space. I think it might need a Golden Age, but will it fit in this bag? See, that's the way I did it. I took the little number 2 from the sticker sheet from a VHS cassette, and then I taped it on there, so that way I know it's issue 2. Unlike that moron that wrote on the front cover in pen, number 16. Yeah, see, it's just not big enough, so I'm gonna reuse. Yeah, but it had number 2 on it. I kind of like that it had number 2 on it. I'm putting it back in this, and then I'll just put a Silver Age board behind it, even though that doesn't give it maximum protection. Close enough for government work, what my father used to say. Spooky Haunted House, number 1. Oh, this is in very poor condition. Look at this tear there. But it's spooky. Remember that commercial on television? The kids listening to Smokey Robinson on the record player. And the dad says, "Turn that shit down." And he says, "But Dad, it's Smokey." It was like a K-Tel commercial for Smokey Robinson's greatest hits. Buy now at your local Kmart. And, you had to be there to know what I'm talking about. But I was thinking, "But Dad, it's spooky. Who cares if it's torn all to pieces? I'm still gonna bag it." That's Golden Age. Because it's spooky. Spooky. The tough little ghost. I love Harvey comics. Wonderful comics to learn to read to, and plus they had a history of making horribly perverse horror comics. They're lovable for many reasons. Harvey comics. I think I saw a picture of, is it Alfred Harvey, the creator? I think I saw a picture of his tombstone, and it's like the Jack in the Box. I may be wrong, but either it's shaped like that, or that's carved into the front of the tombstone. I could be wrong. I could be lying to you, but I think I'm right. Millie the Model, number 92, and then I'll probably call it quits for this particular installment of the Draw to Our Love program because, just because, draw me. Yes, indeed. This is older, but Marvel, I think, in the 50s was cheap and made their comics a little thinner, and they will, yeah, come on, and you can fit them in Silver Age bags. Pretty sure. Watch it fit. Actually, I had this one bagged, didn't I? Oh, it's already bagged in a Mylight. Let's see if it fits. Yes, indeed. All right, cool. All right. Well, so with that, how's the lighting? Is it better in this episode? Is it? I never sleep, and I've got sleep apnea that I've done nothing about. I need to get one of those Darth Vader masks to breathe at night because I snore horribly. I'll wake up and the television's blaring, and my wife will tell me I had to turn it up that loud to hear over your snoring, and it's like incredibly loud, like a blue. What was the band that deafened people? And the is louder than the Who. I can't remember the damn. What was that really loud band that did shit? What was their name? It'll come to me. There was a super loud band that was louder than the Who. You know. Come on, mind. What was their name? The wasn't the Blues Magoos? No, it was Blue Cheer. Blue Cheer. That was the loudest band in the world. I understand the Pandoras, the '80s girl band that did 60s type music, that they were so loud that they had lawsuits. People just became deaf. But I don't know. So she has to turn the TV up loud to be heard over my snoring is my whole point in that bizarre train of thought. But so I always have these I've had these since like high school, that I just look horrible, you know. So I hear these teenagers talking, yeah, well, I'm glad we got rid of Trump. His hair was terrible. You know, okay, so you got two types of bald men. Okay, so you're going bald, so you create this bizarre ducktail sculpture where your hair is combed back and then up and around, and in this like nothing you've ever seen before. But what Joe Biden did, he was also bald. He actually had his hair sewn in, each hair individually, like they do to a doll's head. So, which kind of idiot is better? I think the type that creates a sculpture in a 50s ducktail and up and around, I personally, but, you know, really just shave your head completely like Kojak. I think that was probably the coolest way to do it. Yeah, Trump would have been really cool if he was bald, but then everyone would think he's like Lex Luthor, you know. I think Lex Luthor, you know, became president in the comics. Oh my goodness. Well, this is what I got bagged and boarded today. Not many. And then I'll get these filed into there, and it's just another day. Anyway, I got all this stuff moved around, so I got these comics moved back, so I got a little bit more floor space in this room. And I brought in a little more comfortable chair here to sit on. This used to be in my dad's real estate office. So, I think that I'm going to go down and see what's going on and just stop the stereo. I haven't emptied the kitty litter box yet today, but I don't think I should do that on the show. I don't think you'd want to see that. Alright. There's Pete the cat sitting there. Hey Pete the cat. How you doing? Sorry to disturb your slumber. Down here below this is where the music comes from. And see this little gold box here? That's what transmits the sound to all the radios in my house. It's called a whole house transmitter. They make them differently now. If you order one from their website, they look like little tiny mini walkie-talkies. And I have my music broadcasting to 106.9 FM all throughout the house. And that's how I create the wonderful world of Gratu. And with that, be seeing you.